losing money, and then are they gonna get it? When are they gonna get it? You know, or if you come from a place where your banking system is shut down, or you come from a closed banking system where there's no way to get money into your relatives or to take your value, or your bank accounts have been frozen because a new government had come in, or all of a sudden your cash has been devalued.
You have an extremely interesting background, Korean father, Russian mom.
Yeah.
My wife's half Russian, half Ukrainian, actually.
Interesting.
So I'm sure my kids are going to have some interesting experiences like you have. How was it growing up with that mix?
It's an unconventional mix. Also, to all my Asians out there, usually it's the white dad, Asian mom, right? So for me, it was a little flipped. So it was interesting for sure. Like, we were born in Soviet Union at the time, right? So, and actually a lot of people don't know this, but there's actually a lot of really blend of cultures in Russia. A lot of Koreans in Russia, actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's actually quite a few Koreans. So, I mean, 80s was an interesting time. 80s in Soviet Union was an interesting time. So we leave Soviet Union, Russia at the time, then it kind of all collapses, that 91 point. We end up in South Korea. I land, and then I tell this to our kids a lot, is, you know, when I get to our kindergarten at the time, they're like, "Oh, is your kid mute? Because I don't speak a word of Peru out." Yeah, right. And my dad's like, "Nah, he'll figure it out." So I should pick it up. I remember not knowing the language, and then but I also don't remember not speaking to it.
How old are you at that point?
6
Okay.
years old. So I pick it up pretty quickly. Luckily, I'm at that age, right? And Korean's actually pretty intuitive to pick up. So then I learned to be Korean. But interesting times is it's not popular to be Russian or Soviet in South Korea because of the whole North Korea divide.
Yes, of course, yes.
So I get picked on quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's you know, you're a communist, you're North, this, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
communism is still pretty fresh.
Yeah.
Right. You had just fallen apart from that world. So it's a few challenges assimilating.
Yeah.
A lot of challenges, and you know, and you're a kid, you're like, you know, you go from one extreme to another.
Yeah.
You know, we see toys I haven't seen, I see candy I haven't seen, I see TV shows I haven't seen, right?
Yeah.
We go back to Russia a few times throughout the year, but most of my growing up happens in South Korea.
And so you got into the music scene in terms of DJing. What kinds of experiences did you have in South Korea, in Russia, that kind of inspired you into that space?
In Korea, I kind of get into it very serendipitously. I discovered this piece of software called Cakewalk.
Okay.
Right. I always enjoyed music. I thought it was really cool. I loved listening to music. Obviously, I was like, oh, I'd love to make music one day. And then I discovered this piece of software, Cakewalk. Kind of start MIDI programming, MIDI mapping, and learning how to make music. And then naturally, then I'm like, okay, well, I'd love to now play this music and play other people's music. And then the art of DJing kind of comes together. I was actually in student council.
Okay.
Grade 7, 8, and they're like, hey, we need a DJ for one of the dances. Elon, you understand sound a little bit, give it a go. And I have two Sony Discman, and this like Audio Technica ancient mixer that I still own.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, I figure it out. And then I get into studios, I learn how to make music. There was it's called a CIA agency. I don't know how they came up with it, but it's the 90s in Korea. And then so that's where I learned a little bit more how to make music.
Like it's a school? Or?
No, it's they're like a record label.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're tied into with DMC Korea.
Okay.
DMC is like this big DJ. Now DMC works with Red Bull Freestyle. So
okay.
DMC was kind of like a global DJ championship competition. So I'm learning, I'm 13, 14.
I had a lot of, so I was born in the UK. My parents are from Sri Lanka. I'm Tamil speaking. And actually, Tamil and Korean have similar words. Like we say, appa for father.
Nice. That's literally what we say.
Yeah. There's some deep, like ancient connections with the Tamil community and Korean community.
I'm going to have to look into this.
Yeah.
I am going to have to look into this.
Anyway, so born in the UK, and so when I came to to Canada, I was about 7, and music was a big connector for me. But I started working overseas when I was 21,
Okay.
and music really helped me, one, not feel as lonely just listening to the music and then finding other people connecting. But it also helped me connect when I would go into like a different country. And, the more you are able to open up to that culture, the sooner you can connect and not feel as lonely. And I
For sure.
felt like music was a, universal language
It
where
is.
you could connect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, right? Because you could get people like, and again, we had people who don't speak English listening to, your West
Yeah.
Coast, your whatever American music, and vice versa. You have so many people who listen to Spanish music or world music or what have you.
Yeah.
They're able to connect, or they're able to find some rooting or some rhythm in there that brings them together.
So what got you interested into the Web3 space?
First of all, I felt the frictions of sending money globally.
Yes.
Tying into my DJing, I used to buy a lot of my records from a place called Music Factory in New York City. And I used to Western Union buddy the money. I'd get on the phone,
Yeah.
hey, what's hot this week? Then a Western Union the money,
Yes.
and I get these records, right? Very painful. Not a lot of people could relate to that now because we have Amazon now. But if you're living anywhere else and you need to do a value transfer,
Yeah.
you still have to go to the Western Unions. You still have to use your ACH, or you do a global wire, right? And then takes days. You lose a lot of value in the process. So to me, that got very interesting. I thought that was very cool. With the internet, we're moving ideas around. With Web3, now we're moving value around.
Yes, correct.
Frictionless, borderless, and now you're creating these actual global networks of value exchange. To me, that was very interesting.
Do you feel that folks like you and I that have multiple backgrounds, multicultural backgrounds,
Yes.
do you feel like that community taps into the Web3 space sooner? Like they understand it sooner, or are they more resistant?
Personal opinion, I think they are more receptive to it. I think there's a lot more relatable situations. I think because we had that pain of getting calling cards, getting
Yes.
right, getting going to the Western Unions, and this is not a knock at Western Union, but having to transfer money globally and losing money, and then are they gonna get it? When are they gonna get it? Or if you come from a place where your banking system is shut down, or you come from a closed banking system where there's no way to get money into your relatives, or to take your value, or your bank accounts have been frozen because a new government had come in, or all of a sudden your cash has been devalued. I think because we have experienced these things, especially maybe in our generation. And I mean, unfortunately, there's turmoil and unrest and economic challenges still happening throughout the world. I think because of that, we might be a lot more sympathetic to it.
Yeah. South Korea's, I mean, very much advanced in terms of technology. Do you go back still, or?
I haven't had a chance to go back as much as I wanted to.
Okay.
I went back in 2019 and I went back in 2023.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So not too long ago.
No, not too long ago. But I had a big gap of not going back for about 20 years since I left.
Do they have, India has these like one apps that you can do. China has it. South Korea, I'm sure, has something.
We do Kakao.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Alipay similarity. So Google Maps don't work in Korea. I mean, they do, but they're very outdated. So we have Kakao Maps, Kakao T. So Uber's Kakao Taxi, Kakao T.
Yeah.
We have Kakao Pay, Kakao Chat.
I'm so amazed that these things don't happen in America. I understand, I guess, with all the bureaucracy, but I think, of course, there are huge opportunities in this sector as well. So you're working with a company now in the Web3 space?
I'm not at the moment, actually. There is something we would like to start working on something soon. I have a lot of friends in the space. Yeah, I love the community aspect of it.
Is there anything you can share?
I'd like it to be something for the everyday consumer.
Okay.
Right. A lot of people, again, so this is when people are like, oh, why? I don't get it. I don't understand. What is this Bitcoin stuff you talk about? Right. And I'm like, well, you don't really care how your Visa swipes. When you send an email, that's a protocol. Like, you don't be like, I don't understand email. I don't understand what happens in the back end, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So we'd like to create more frictionless, more trustless, and in we're in the events and wedding industry. So I'd like to create something in there. So been brewing this idea and how to make it mass adoptable to that average user who simply says, oh, cool, they have a blockchain in the background, but this doesn't affect, I don't have to jump through these mine hoops to understand it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's going to help with mass adoption, which I think will benefit all of us. Yeah. Well, Ilon, thanks so much.
My pleasure.
And great chatting with you, and looking forward to chatting more.
Yes, absolutely.